world-class training facility, Bodymoor Heath, which has come on in leaps and bounds over the years. And off we go then. It's the last but one game of the season in Premier League 2 for the Villa under-21s. Pitching their wits against the Black Cats. Ball floated forward. Todd Alcott showing his versatility, the captain playing at right back. Of course, we've seen him play a lot in central midfield with Aidan Borland. The under-18s, good to hear on RFX microphones all the instructions from the sidelines, both from Josip Gombau and his staff, and Graham Murty, who's the boss of Sunderland, former Premier League player. Good running this by the visiting team, hoping for an early opportunity. Villa trying to get to the ball. It's squeezed over to that right hand side, and they are carrying a threat here, working the ball nicely. Ben Middlemass, the captain, involved in threading the moves together, but Villa gather the ball deep inside their own half. Yes, Graham Murty played principally for Reading, true legend of the Royals, played in the top flight against Villa actually, but has done well as head coach at this level. Sunderland did reach the playoff final last year. I covered the epic win over Graham Murty's former club Reading. 4-3 they won that, and 3-3 in the previous round. The last 8 they won on penalties. Then they lost to eventual champions Spurs in the final by 3-1. But it can change a lot year on year. Spurs were all dominating last year, finishing top, winning the playoffs, but they have struggled this year. They're not even going to get into the playoffs in defending their title. And Villa, yes, they haven't been getting the results at this level, but the true success is the players who go out on loan and do so well in the EFL. You look at Kane Kessler-Hayden with Preston, so many players, Louis Barry, several of them, Lutz, Moore, Caden Young over in Belgium with Antwerp, and Sunderland now. We welcome viewers on Villa TV to our live broadcast on this Friday evening before the big first team game down on the south coast at St Mary's against Southampton tomorrow. We'll be hearing from Unai Emery at half-time in his pre-match press conference. Here now is Reece Walsh for Sunderland, the number 11, gathering the ball. Will he get the shot away? Will. Right-footed, takes a bit of a deflection, and it's helped goalwards by Trey Ogunsuyi, who couldn't get any sort of purchase on the shot. The centre forward for Sunderland there, popped up for him, took a swing, and it comes favourably for Proctor. Thrilled to be on the bench in the Champions League. What an experience, he'll only benefit from that. Certainly channeling his inner Emi Martinez in the penalty shootout win over Manchester United in the Youth Cup at under-18 level on an epic night at the end of March at Villa Park. Here at Bodymoor, Villa open the campaign with a good win over Derby, beat Blackburn here as well, but they've had the odd crumb of comfort. A good draw with Fulham, nearly beat them actually. Good away points at the likes of Leeds and a comeback one against Brighton, but generally they've not been getting the results in the league. They've done well at all other levels this season. Something has to give. Josip Gombau on the edge of his technical area, just shielding his glare from this warm April sunshine. Throw in for Jensen Jones, the Sunderland left back, to take. Lost for Spurs narrowly in their last game. Went out of the Premier League Cup as well. Here now is Cole Brannigan, bags of ability. George Hemmings takes up the play, knocks the pass, looks a good one as well for Kane Taylor. Taylor on the Villa left. Can they conjure an opening here? Back with Hemmings again. Hemmings, good balance, races forward and gets the shot away. And it's well wide, might have been a cross actually, possibly took a touch, but Hemmings with some really impressive work. The midfielder pulling the strings, providing that driving force, and in the 5th minute Villa can be content with how they've settled into the game, with Kane Taylor recently went away on that break to Dubai with the seniors and got a goal in the game, but that was nice from Taylor and Hemmings for the Villains, taking on Liverpool here next week in a rearranged game. That's because it coincided with one of the rounds of the Youth Cup against Plymouth in the quarter-final. So that'll be one to look forward to against the junior lads. Always something special when Villa play Liverpool. Sunderland and Villa haven't met at senior level as frequently as they used to. It used to be a regular Premier League fixture. I remember Ron Vlaar getting a good goal in a 6-goal performance at Villa Park. Benteke starring in that one. Many memorable trips up to the northeast and the Stadium of Light as well. That Prokofiev music blaring out, Romeo and Juliet at the start of the game. Good little dancing dribble by Jamaldine Jimo Aloba, who's graduated to senior colours this season and been a key part of the run to the FA Youth Cup final. Will play Manchester City at home after City narrowly beat Watford last night. Villa with brilliant wins here at Bodymore over Accrington and comeback win over Bristol City after they'd gone to Newcastle and hit 4, then beat Plymouth before seeing off Manchester United. Here in the under-21 Premier League 2 league, they're having to do some defending because Reece Walsh is forward. Good dribbler, carrying the ball impressively. Walsh knocks the pass, shot is just scuffed rather by Jayden Jones, and it pops up nicely for Sam Proctor to gather. Made some stunning saves in that Youth Cup game. Looks a really talented goalkeeper. As the sun starts to fall, we're going to have a beautiful sunset, I think, later. Here's Jamaldine Jimo Aloba. Can't get there. Ben Middlemish, the Sunderland captain, emerges with it, making things tick, just conducting the orchestra. Now it's with Jones. Collects the ball. Good build up this from Sunderland. He links up nicely, Jones with Walsh, and he keeps going. Villa though standing firm. Alcock looks up, assesses, good control, strong on the ball, and rolls it forward for Tristan Rowe, who enjoys getting forward. He'll be relishing playing in this more advanced role today. Plays a pass now for Wilson. Wilson onto his left, gets the shot in. Good save by Kelechi Chibueze. Rory Wilson, quite capable of hitting the back of the net from there. He just couldn't find a way past Kelechi Chibueze, but Villa have had some good moments in the game. Rowe driving with intent, really purposeful running, played the pass for Wilson, who worked it onto his left foot. A turf trimmer, but that's a good bit of goalkeeping by Sunderland's number 1. So Villa with opportunities, with Hemmings and Taylor carving out one before that run by Rowe and shot from Rory Wilson. Great to see him put pen to paper. He's been prolific, especially at under-18 level since joining the club north of the border. Rory wants glory at youth level with Aston Villa. Here now is Cole Brannigan. Delightful stuff from him. Dancing feet. Feeds Tristan Rowe. Good idea, I think, pushing Rowe forward. Clips that one low. Wilson tries to keep it alive. Rowe gets to the byline, pulls back the cross, and then it's over the bar with Kane Taylor gliding into the danger zone. Really good running by him. Rowe, a constant menace to the Sunderland rearguard in the game so far, and that was really good from Taylor, the way he glided into a menacing area. Just couldn't keep his shot down, but that was all down to Villa's threat on that side of the pitch. Sunderland hoping to build. It's been quite an open game so far. Both teams adopting a positive approach. Here's Middlemass against his opposing number 4, Thierry Katsakunyan. They've popped it over to the right flank, but good defensive work this time by Taylor. Rory Wilson attempts to get to the ball, but Sunderland mopping up effectively. So yeah, still got the Youth Cup final to look forward to. Under-18s tomorrow at Brighton, having got a comeback draw with Teddy Bloomfield getting the goal against West Brom in midweek. They've got a real backlog of games because of their progress in the Youth Cup and the UEFA Youth League this season. But they are still, with all the games in hand, in with a chance of finishing top of Premier League South. Just got a brief stoppage here with Alcock getting a knock, and the referee calls to the sidelines. And not sure Alcock's going to need any treatment, and we can resume proceedings fairly swiftly. Great to have your company on Villa TV on this Friday night. with Easter to come next weekend. The game's coming thick and fast. Of course, a mouth-watering prospect of Paris Saint-Germain in the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final at what will be a raucous VP on Tuesday night. Here's Tristan Rowe now, racing at pace. He's electric, isn't he? And he rolls it back good. Defending again, this time by Luke Bell. Was vigilant, but Rowe is giving them a real problem here. Normally plays at right back, but he's in a more advanced position here, and he's eating up the turf. He's putting him on the back foot. He's posing the questions. He's playing with a real spring in his step, and he's won his team a corner here. It's going to be taken by Alcock, with the responsibility from the set piece with Brannigan, who's been a star of the Youth Cup team, weighing in with goals at Newcastle with a couple, and at Villa Park against Plymouth as well. Here now is Alcock with the chip, and Chibueze, who's already made an eye-catching stop to foil Wilson, gathered that cross, but Villa with Brannigan feeding Borland. There's a combative, competitive worker with plenty of style as well in the central midfield area. 12th minute, 0-0. They've had most of the play, most of the threat. Good running again this. Oh, what a burst this is, and the shot is saved well, but Taylor at pace comes back out for Jimo Aloba. That was brilliant from Kane Taylor. He's such a threat when he moves in with intent like that. He had an eye for goal, good balance, racing forward, got the shot away, but Chibueze looks a seriously good keeper, doesn't he? Now Tristan Rowe from the other side. It's all Villa so far. Remember, Sunderland well above them in the table, almost certain to get into the end of season playoffs, but they'd like to finish in the top 12 to get into that Premier League International Cup. Another look at the chance there for Taylor. Great feet, really good stuff there. Direct, positive, quality, but again in the perfect spot was Kelechi Chibueze. It's a very vocal technical area for Sunderland. They give the ball away here. It's pulled back there by Wilson, but that's good defending as Brannigan knocked it towards Wilson. In goes Hemmings, and now good work by Aidan Borland. Finds the pass. Keep knocking at the door. They're well drilled, the Sunderland defence. They've had a lot of defending to do, though, proving a resilient rearguard thus far. The Black Cats, whose seniors are set for the playoffs in the Championship. They've been fourth for a while, haven't they? So they're likely to be at home in the second leg at the Stadium of Light as they look to get back into the Premier League under Reggie Lebris. Their boss, Graham Murty's their manager at this level, right on the edge of his technical area. It's been a good tussle this so far, but it would be the better team. Good saves by Chibueze from Wilson particularly. Kane Taylor as well was threatened. Rowe has been terrific down the Aston Villa right. Kicked off just after 7 p.m, starting another big football weekend. This is hoisted towards Wilson. Judged the flight pretty well there, but so too did the Sunderland defender. Borland with the clip, but it's straight through for Chibueze, who's been by far the busier goalkeeper so far. And remember, Unai Emery talking in his pre-Southampton press conference coming up at half-time, as well as any moments you might have missed if you joined us late. We've already had 2 or 3 good opportunities for Villa in this game. And now it's with Jack Whittaker, the number 10, playing it for fellow forward Trey Ogunsuyi, who had a snapshot earlier on, which couldn't test the keeper. Jones for Kindon. Alcott pushed over there by Whittaker, winning his team a free kick right in front of the Villa coach Joseph Dombal. He's got his team playing an attractive brand of football. sure the fans all looking forward to tomorrow's trip to St Mary's. Best coverage of that. Been some really good wins there over the years. I remember blockbusting goals from Mustafa Hadji and Fabian Delph over the years. Watkins, of course, with the header last season. Here now come Sunderland, but good mopping up there by Ethan Amundsen-Day. Was composed and calm. Classic. Linking up there with his keeper, Proctor. And it's pushed into touch, and it'll be a Villa throw-in. I remember Nobby Solano-inspired comeback down on the south coast when Harry Radnett was Saints manager all those years ago. O'Leary was the Villa boss, so got really good memories of playing at Southampton, of course, whose relegation has been confirmed. Here's the ball forward. Villa could be in here. Rory Wilson played in well by Hemmings. Wilson gives it back to the midfielder. Hemmings goes down. No suggestion of a foul on Hemmings, but they've combined well, those two. Villa looking the more likely scorers, but they haven't hit the back of the net as yet. Hasn't been for want of possibilities. They're regularly manufacturing and fashioning promising situations. Here's Ogunsuyi. And now it's with Borland, but back with the Sunderland defenders. They've given it away. You do that at your peril. Was Tristan Rowe in town. Now Brannigan, good options on the bench for Villa with Charlie Pavey. Here's Wilson, drives it low, and then at the back post it's put wide. Taylor again, he's been getting forward at every opportunity. Good attacking again by Villa. Wilson into that pocket of space, corridor of uncertainty for Sunderland. Hammered it in with real speed, that ball. Taylor trying to get on the end of it, did so, but pushed his shot wide, just couldn't direct it inside the post with the defender putting him off. Yeah, going back to tomorrow, Southampton hoping to get the better of Derby's worst ever points tally of 11 in the Premier League, but Villa can't think about that. They've just got to go on and try and win the game to push their hopes of qualifying for next season's Champions League. They're still in this season's, of course. Martinez with important. I thought that was an important save by me, actually. Right at the end of the game, after the third goal, tipped over brilliantly, and he made other good stops just to keep Villa in the tie. An early goal, you never know. 3-1 down, going into that on Tuesday. And the Villa women back in action next weekend at Spurs. I think won their last away game brilliantly at Liverpool to get 4 points clear of trouble. Here in the Premier League 2 Under-21 League, Villa are 0-0 with Sunderland. Good game so far. Decent performance so far from Villa. Here's Alcott knocking it back for his keeper. Proctor's not really had to make a save yet. Ogunsuyi tries to get there. Borland tries to control, but he's dispossessed and the ball is slotted through. Out comes the keeper. I think that'll be a penalty. It is. Villa had dominated this game. They just had a lapse in concentration. Out came Proctor, and as soon as he raced forward for that one, you knew he had to get it absolutely right. He wasn't able to do so. It was a good attack from Sunderland, and they have the opportunity to take the lead in this game against the run of play, it has to be said. And it's going to be Trey Ogunsuyi to take this penalty kick, the number 9. Hands on hips. Can Proctor repeat his shot-saving brilliance from the penalty shootout in the FA Youth Cup here? He's certainly very good at saving penalties. Trey Ogunsuyi, the Sunderland number 9, to put the Mackems ahead. Runs up, right-footed, and he saves! He repeats his FA Youth Cup penalty-saving exploits. He's some shot-stopper, isn't he? Sam Proctor from 12-yarders. Never in doubt, was it? Absolutely brilliant saves against Manchester United, but it really mattered at Villa Park in the semi-final, and he does it again on a Friday night at Bodymore in Premier League 2. Trey Ogunsuyi went for the corner, but, well, I thought I was watching Amy Martinez for a minute, and here come Villa up the other end now. Well, that will be quite a way to punish Sunderland. It wasn't the worst of penalties, nor was it the best. I mean, he struck it towards the corner, but Proctor went the right way, and, well, he looks some keeper. He's a really exciting prospect, isn't he? Sam Proctor, another chance to see the penalty kick. Ogunsuyi looked confident, struck it. It wasn't a good pan, was it? But he had to go the right way and did. And Proctor, stunning stuff again. Quite the shot stopper. Agile, dominant, commanding. Got a real aura about him. As Sam Proctor, well done to him to keep it at 0-0. Here comes Sunderland again. Looking like they're growing in confidence now. I mean, one that I don't think there was any doubt about the penalty award. It was a clear foul, but he's talk about atoning for your error. And it remains 0-0. That would have been harsh on Villa, given the vibrant, buoyant way they began this fixture. So Proctor, penalty saving supremo, makes the headlines. But Villa's youngsters again, this time up an age group or two. Although Villa have been using under-18s for a lot of this season, having to juggle the resources currently with so many matches for the under-18s between now and the end of the season. Only one more after this one for the under-21s. Good work there by Borland to win the ball. Wilson gives it back to him. Borland on the left wing. He's got plenty of options in the centre here. Borland left-footed towards Taylor. Goes up into the air, headed away by Kindon of Sunderland. Past the 20-minute mark. It's been an enjoyable watch this so far on Villa TV Plus. And nothing between them. Villa with good opportunities. A couple of saves by Chibueze. But Sunderland with the best chance. As we have another look at that incident involving Kane Taylor. Sam Proctor saving Trey Ogunsuyi's penalty. More stellar goalkeeping from young Sam. Here come Villa now with Cole Brannigan. Rowe is behind him. Tristan Rowe edging towards the midway point of a compelling first half at Bodymore. Clipped by Alcott, didn't get enough on it for Taylor, and it spins through for Chibueze. I think it's going to take something special to beat either keeper, actually. Both look very impressive pillars between the posts. Chibueze has saved from open play, and Proctor, having conceded a penalty, picked himself up and saved superbly. Made two fantastic stops in the penalty shootout at Villa Park against Manchester United in the Youth Cup semi, and he's done it here tonight. Now here comes Sunderland with Reece Walsh moving in from the left-hand side. Walsh plays the cross in. Villa teaming up well, one for all for one, showing a camaraderie, a collective spirit there to repel the danger posed by Reece Walsh. 0-0. Both teams have had their moments. Villa started the game the better, but Sunderland have come into it winning the pen, which they couldn't convert, but also having one or two other moments. So they've got a corner now. So Cavalry sent forward from the back. 24th minute at Bodymore on Villa TV. Villa 0, Sunderland 0. The under-21s head-to-head. Right boot, left wing towards the back post, and it just drifts all the way behind. A bit of argy-bargy in the box. No damage done for Villa. And it's back with the man or boy of the moment, Sam Proctor. Sure he enjoys training with all the rest of the keepers. Amy Martinez would have been hugely impressed with his exploits in the Youth Cup semi-final. And he's done wonders for his team again this evening. Tristan Rowe for Alcott, combining down the right-hand side. As the sun starts to drop below the eye line, some of the pitch in shadow now. It's been a beautiful evening. It has been getting quite cold at night. The floodlights are on as this is chipped for Tristan Rowe. Had a good game so far. Alcock pushing for Borland. Alcock on halfway, seeking out Hemmings or Wilson perhaps. Sunderland are playing their part, looking to shore up their position in the playoff spots. Alcock with the chip. Did so well early in the season, the Virtue Trophy. The best performing academy, Villa. They're the only team to get to the knockout stages. They just need a replacement ball. That isn't quite good enough. But yeah, when you think, what a win. 3 goals at Fleetwood. Of course, Emi Buendia played in that and scored. That was a real help, but the youngsters did well as well. And then a very young side got a draw at Bolton and won penalty shootout, which secured qualification ultimately for the knockout phase. And then they went to Blackpool and won penalty shootout after it finished 1-1 with Jimo Aloba getting the goal in normal time. 18-17 on penalties. Fabulous stuff. And then got the chance to play at Villa Park. Kari Pierre scored a beauty, but they lost to a very strong Bradford team who started well, showing their physicality in the early stages. But many of these guys involved in the glorious run to the FA Youth Cup final will be playing Manchester City in the final, but will fear no when it is home for Villa, so they've got that advantage. Under-19 Youth League win over Bologna here really set them going. Hit 6 in Bruges and 4 at Leipzig, last ditch. Beat the Puskás Academy. Charlie Pavey, who's on the bench tonight, played a starring role, the goal and assist for that in Hungary, before they lost to an outstanding Barcelona team. But kept going to the end, so it's been a really good season when you think all the players in the EFL doing well for their clubs, and here in Premier League too, they want to end the season positively. And they're playing well here. Hemmings for Borland, and now Emerson Day. Taylor for Jimo Aloba. It's been fairly quiet so far, but he can light the touch paper at any moment. He's that type of player. He says, abracadabra, and out pops the rabbit from the hat. Nearly generated something there. Here's Hemmings. Excellent ball carrying from Hemmings, and he drives the shot in low along the turf. It was destined for the corner, but fine goalkeeping again by Kelechi Chibueze, who just watches the ball into the gloves. Hemmings moved wonderfully well there. They're giving it away, and Jimo Aloba couldn't make the most of that. I think he couldn't believe that the ball had been presented to him by the Sunderland player there, Jimo Aloba. I've had to wear the sunglasses for the first half, with the sun glaring at us in the little mini press box here at this special stadium for under-21 games for Villa, but we're going to have a gorgeous sunset very shortly over the West Midlands. Brannigan hassling and harrying, couldn't get to the ball there, and now it's with Whittaker for Sunderland. Ogunsuyi's in front of him. Trey Ogunsuyi's desperate for another chance, having failed to score his penalty. Wasn't hit with much conviction, to be honest, but it was still a very good save. He's not taking anything away from Proctor. He hit the target with the pen, which is the first thing he should do, but Proctor was equal to the challenge, pouring it away. Middlemass, Sunderland captain, and here's Whittaker with the shot. Oh, it's a great save, really good stuff from open play this time by Proctor, putting on a goalkeeping masterclass once again is super shot stopper Sam. Good effort, that low, powerful. Proctor, watchful, vigilant, strong wrists, foils the Black Cats. He's made 2 fabulous saves in this game already, one from the pen and one from that shot. Approaching the half-hour mark at Bodymore, 0-0. But it's been an entertaining 0-0 so far, with good chances at both ends. Here's Jimo Aloba now on the break. That could spell trouble for Sunderland. He's so quick. Jimo Aloba, will he play the pass here for Brannigan? He will. It's just behind him. Cole Brannigan can still make something of this. He's being closed down there. That was good defending. Hunting in packs there was Sunderland tracking back, showing hunger, desire and appetite, but it was a great counter there from Jimo Aloba into the second third of this under-21 contest at Bodymore. All of the under-21 matches from here brought to you live. Villa just fell short in the Birmingham Senior Cup against Burton, couldn't defend the trophy. They did win it wonderfully last year, hitting 3 against Coventry in the semi and 9 against Racing Club Warwick in the final, but fell at the quarter-final stage, having made a respectable defence. Won that trophy 20 times, not this year, but still a chance for silverware in League and Cup for the under-18s, of course. And the seniors still attacking on 3 fronts with that FA Cup final. Lots of excitement again about getting the tickets today ahead of the semi-final against Crystal Palace at Wembley to come at the end of the month. Big league games and Champions League as well to come before that. Best coverage on Villa TV. Here now come Sunderland down their right. The challenge is made. It's a free kick for the visitors, so they'll look to get plenty of players into the box for this one. Referee Elliot Swallow has kept things moving nicely. Just taking their time to consider. Queuing up on the edge of the Villa penalty area. Proctor will have things organised in front of him. Good all-round display from him so far. It's just a 2-player wall at the moment.
I'll come back. Yeah, if you could stand him over around there.
A bit of a little and large as well, isn't it? With Jimo Aloba, one of those players, with Brannigan as well. Free kick for Sunderland. In it comes from Middlemass, headed at the back post but just zooms harmlessly behind. Job done there. A well-drilled, well-organised Villa, all knew their jobs, and surprising it's still goalless really, given the zest and endeavour, quality shown by both teams, stringing together good attacking movements. Villa overall, you would say, have had the better of it, but Sunderland won a penalty that Proctor saved and had another good effort from Whittaker, which Proctor was ready for. Up it goes by Borland. Tristan Rowe started the game like a train, raced out the blocks, was constantly pushing the back. Here he goes again. Rowe, what's he got up his sleeve? Here he goes for glory. Wonderful effort from Rowe. When he hit that, it looked like it was going to hit the top corner. It just kept rising though, fractionally over the bar, but fabulous stuff from Rowe, moving in from the right with intent, set himself, pulled the trigger, and Chibueze wasn't going to save that one. He was very relieved to see it go over the bar. Rowe almost with the deadlock breaker. What might have been for him there, he just stumbles, thought he was going to win the ball as the temperature level starts to drop now. Here's Jensen Jones being followed by Hemmings. And now Whittaker takes up the play, tussling with Todd Alcott. Good battle that between those two. And it is going to be a corner kick. 34th minute, 0-0. And all hands to the pump here for Villa, as Wilson goes back to help the defence. They'll look to repel this and then finish the half strongly. Sunderland with lots to play for this season. In it goes. Bit of argy-bargy there. Sunderland were claiming an infringement, but I don't think there is a suggestion of a foul. It has gone behind again. They're going to get another bite of the corner taking cherry here. I think this one is going to be from the other side of the pitch though, and they've just got Villa on the back foot for the time being, of the team from Wearside taking on Swansea in the Championship tomorrow. The seniors, we wish them luck in the remainder of their campaign. as they look to gain promotion. Certainly going to be in the playoffs. Some very strong teams will be with them in those playoffs. Fairly low trajectory on that one. Well watched by Katsukunya at the near post to steer it from danger. Over goes Borland. But Sunderland have it back, and here's a left-footed shot, but saved again. Another effort on target, but Proctor has been exceptional. Astoundingly good from him. It's a fabulous keeper, isn't he? Now it's Tristan Rowe on the charge. Alcock's behind him. Rowe always looking up the pitch though. This time he elects to pick out Borland, and now Hemmings. Enjoying playing alongside Borland in the centre, the heartbeat of the team. With Alcock playing it right back, but it's been an interesting idea, this, playing Rowe more as a winger, and he's absolutely loving it, Tristan Rowe. Alcock, final 10 of the first 45 at Bodymore in Premier League 2. Rowe, quick feet again, but he runs into a cul-de-sac, and away by Walsh. Katsukunya for his fellow central defender Amundsen Day. Good angle, but Jimo Aloba, well, I thought he'd lost it, and then he does really well to beat 2 or 3 players in 50-50s there. Showing the other side again. We know he's got flair, we know he's got bags of talent and pace. He's also got a tenacity about him. Really good combative stuff that by Jimo Aloba. Now here's Taylor. Taylor gets it in low, and then it's straight at the keeper by Cole Brannigan. It's another good opportunity fashioned by a vibrant Villa. They're working the angles, they're posing a threat from all areas, but so far Kelechi Chibueze has managed to deal with everything thrown at him. It's a good effort, that. Taylor putting it on a plate for Brannigan, just couldn't guide it either side of the goalkeeper. Alcock for Rowe, and Alcock again. Hemmings, the magnet to the ball, having a good half. Hemmings, can he go all the way here? No, has to check back, but retains possession, shielding it well, strong on the ball. Now he just ushers it for Jimo Aloba, looking to instigate, prompting and probing. Katsukunya and Alcock, good patient passing football, crisp and slick. Movement off the ball, but Sunderland working hard with the press. Good pressure applied by Jayden Jones, and Jimo Aloba forced to go all the way back for Katsukunya, who now clips it down the wing, and that'll just drift out as Jensen Jones goes over to meet Tristan Rowe. It's been a fascinating contest this so far. 2 different styles, but well matched really. Villa will feel perhaps they should be ahead, but they did need Sam Proctor's prowess to save Trey Ogunsuyi's penalty, and he's made another couple of good saves as well from other Sunderland efforts. Now Tristan Rowe's away, but that's good goalkeeping. He had to time that perfectly, did Kelechi Chibueze, and we've got 2 terrific goalkeepers on show here. We really do. We'll be looking out for them in the future. Sam Proctor of Villa and Kelechi Chibueze of Sunderland. 39th minute, 0-0. Remember, Taylor the Tape, the key incidents that have excited. We will bring you at half-time, as well as the thoughts of Unai Emery preparing his team for the game at Southampton tomorrow, talking in his pre-match press conference. That's to come at the break on our live broadcast this evening from Bodymore Heath. Jack Woodward talking you through the action. Great work here by Tristan Rowe, collecting from Alcock, and here he goes. Rowe plays it in low towards Wilson, but scrambling the ball away. Desperate defending from Sunderland, but they just haven't produced that golden moment, have they, Villa? They need to find the cutting edge, that clinical ruthlessness. Rowe has been carving out the chances. The Villa subs just going to warm up, and there's lots of ability on the bench. Pavey, Mosquera, good to see him back and low. Omar Kedda, Mason Kocher, brilliant in the Youth Cup this season. Hat-trick against Bristol City in a comeback win. Scored in a couple of other rounds as well, did Mason, and played a starring role in the UEFA Youth League as was Jimo Aloba, who just couldn't prevent the ball from trickling over the edge of the pitch there. Up to the 40-minute mark, and it's flown by, hasn't it? Really enterprising, buccaneering, swashbuckling stuff from both teams. Villa have had more of the possession and the territory, but no goal. It's all this game's lacked so far. But a penalty save, good other stops from both keepers. They played at a decent tempo, good energy out there. What's to come in this final stanza of the first period? Wilson's header, forward goes Taylor, but the flag raised in its luminous yellow and orange amid the setting sun at Villa's state-of-the-art training HQ. Back for Kelechi Chibueze, who's ticked all the boxes, as is his opposite number, Sam Proctor. Scooped through the centre, over goes Taylor, the covering defender, and Gusin. Whittaker helped forward, and it just escaped the clutches of Sunderland there, but looking dangerous through the middle. They've definitely had their moments, haven't they? Certainly haven't come here to defend. They're trying to get forward as and when they can. And they've dealt with Villa's little purple patches, good spells in the game. Right, rabbits out the trap, really quick out the blocks in this one, Villa, but haven't been able to blow down a well-constructed house of Sunderland. And now it's backed by Katsukunya for Proctor, star player for Villa once again. Really exciting career in front of him, I think, for Proctor. Taylor checks and finds Amundsen Day. Proctor with the distribution. As Ogunsui pops up on the left. Great work there by Tristan Rowe. He's had a terrific first half. Can he crown it with a goal? Rowe looking to go all the way, drives it in, and it's saved by Chibueze again. Tristan Rowe has been dynamic, full of energy and quality down that right, creating for Villa. Went for goal from an unlikely angle there. He had options in the box. He tried to catch out the keeper, but Kelechi is a quality keeper, saves with his foot. It was going in. He used his legs well there, did the Sunderland number one. Both keepers have been outstanding in this game, and that's why we have a blank scoreline, due to the excellence of the two players between the posts. Corner kick. Alcott guides it in, right boot from the left wing, header away. Hemmings, all the Villa outfield players inside the Sunderland half there. Now it's back with Proctor. Last couple of minutes of an absorbing first half of football on an immaculate playing surface. Taylor takes no chances. Can Villa just create one last chance? It'll be a good time to score. It'll be a fitting reward for all of their efforts, as he hits that one low, Proctor. Now with Hemmings. Slots it forward. Jimo Aloba's away here onside. He's got Wilson in the middle. Jimo Aloba, will he get the shot in? He will! Rasping drive, but he couldn't keep it down. It's another really presentable opening. Excellent ball for Jimo Aloba, who timed his run to perfection. Thought he might square it for Wilson. Brannigan was there as well, but he elected to go for goal. This time, Kelechi Chibueze not required to make the save. They just haven't had the finish. That's all they've lacked in this first half, both teams really. But Jimo Aloba scored important goals this season. You would have backed him to bury that one, but it's just been a little bit frustrating, exasperating with that final moment. It's the hardest thing to do in football, put the ball in the net, and that's what they found here. But got to be happy with the build-up play, what they've sculpted. Just the 1 minute of added time, that's confirmed by fourth official Niall Felton. It's Sunderland now with Trey Ogunsoyi, who had his penalty save, but he's manoeuvred the ball well there, and this could be a chance for Sunderland. No, Taylor with some robust, no-nonsense defending. It's their time for either side to get a late goal at the end of this half. Got a couple of minutes of highlights to look forward to, and Unai Emery's press conference at half-time. You're going to see the penalty save from Proctor denying Ogunsoyi, and Villa have had good moments to force Chibueze into saves, so make sure you stay tuned for that, as this is slotted into touch. I think that'll be that for the first half. Really good half of football. Proctor with a penalty save. Excellence from the Villa keeper, but Villa had good chances of their own. They tested Chibueze several times. It's all set up for what should be a good second half of football. At the break though, it's level. No goals. Villa 0, Sunderland 0 at half-time in Premier League 2. All set for the second half then of this Premier League 2 fixture in Aston Villa and Sunderland. The first period had just about everything apart from a goal, and a player who was involved in the most noteworthy incident will not play in this second half. Trey Ogunsoyi, who had his penalty saved superbly by Sam Proctor, the Villa keeper, withdrawn at half-time. Timur Totierov, the Sunderland number 12, coming on for him. The floodlights gazing down now. Sunderland on the front foot immediately as Villa began the first half, really. The visitors very much in the mood there. Just a recap on the two teams. Villa with Sam Proctor made other good saves as well as the penalty stop, continuing his good work that he showed in the FA Youth Cup semi-final, earning his involvement with the seniors. On the ball at the moment, the keeper. In front of him, Todd Alcott, the captain, at right back. Terry Katsakunya and Ethan Amundsen-Day in the central defence. Kane Taylor on the left. Aidan Borland and George Hemmings in central midfield. Tristan Rowe, Cole Brannigan, Jamal Jimmo Aloba, and frontman Rory Wilson completing the lineup as Hemmings makes a run. Is impeded, and that will be a booking, I think, for the foul on Hemmings by Reece Walsh. Into the book. The Villa subs, good selection, variety of talent as well. Alex Hammond, the keeper. The outfield subs, Charlie Pavey, Yema Mosquera, Omar Khedda and Mason Kocher. Villa in the traditional colours, with Kane Taylor, who was bright as a button, sharp as a tack, really imposed himself, creating and having chances in the first half, but the flag raised against him there. Sunderland in their usual red and white stripes. Kelechi Chibueze made brilliant saves, especially with his legs from Tristan Rowe towards the end of that first half, made other important stops as well. He's been brilliant in his green goalkeeping outfit. Their outfield players, Finn Holcroft, Jensen Jones, Ben Middlemass, the captain, Ben Kindon, Luke Bell, Finn Geragusin, Jaden Jones, Jack Whittaker, Reece Walsh, and now Timur Totierov, who's come on for Trey Ogunsoyi. He'll be regretting he didn't hit that penalty with a bit more pace, but Proctor probably would have saved it anyway, to be honest. The remaining subs, Dan Cameron, the keeper for Sunderland, Felix Scott, Cuba Mitchell and Archie Lightfoot. Thanks to Unai Emery for his thoughts at half-time. In his pre-match press conference, he'll be preparing his team for the big game at Southampton tomorrow in the Premier League. Here in Premier League 2, Villa have got to do some defending here. It's with Geragusin, the number 21, plays the pass, and that's good defending by Katsakunya, applauded by the supporters who decided to come and see the young talent and plenty of that for Aston Villa, but they've conceded a corner. They certainly will feel perhaps they should have gone into the interval at least one up, even though they did concede the penalty, which prop to say, but they had the better of the play and the chances for sure. But Sunderland showing why they're likely to qualify for the playoffs this season with some of their sparkling attacking play. Here's the right wing corner, and Villa looking to clear their lines and do so with Rory Wilson back defending. Wonder whether we might see Kocher at some point, as certainly usually all of the outfield subs get a game at this level. Here's Whittaker. Jack Woodward talking you through the action. Great to have your company on Villa TV this evening to kick off another exciting football weekend. Under 18s in action at Brighton tomorrow. First team at Southampton. Very much a South Coast affair. Best coverage on all the Villa channels, of course. Here now is Jimo Eloba racing forward. Wilson in the middle. Jimo Eloba might just go it alone. What a run! Has he got the finish? Oh, it's clawed away. More terrific goalkeeping. That was a delightful, mesmerising run by Jamaldeen Jimo Eloba, all the way through like a knife through butter. Tried just to dink it over Kelechi Chibueze, but he is tremendous keeper. It was a lovely idea and he nearly executed it. He just tried to lift the ball over the advancing keeper, but he was able to claw it away again. And it's hard to see either of these keepers being beaten at the moment, but you never know, there might be a bit of fortune or a blockbuster of a shot. Mason Kocher is prepared to come on. It'll be a big one for him actually, because it's his old club. He came from Sunderland and he has been really good since joining Villa from Wearside, so he'll know a lot of these players he's coming up against. He's just being shown on the iPad some of the instruction, but it is Rory Wilson who will replace. So I think this is an enforced change. I'm sure there was a plan to bring Kocher on at some point. Maybe they didn't want to do it this early. Rory, we've not seen too much in recent months. Great to have his future secured, having been so good for Villa's academy, but he walks off the pitch and his evening is over. But Mason Kocher's is just about to start. So Kocher is onto the pitch. Wilson at least has walked and taken his seat in the dugout area, so he's not as if he's headed straight for Freeman, so hopefully that's nothing too serious for Rory. Kocher immediately just sowing those seeds of doubt for the keeper. Wasn't the best bit of distribution actually for Chibueze, not as good as his shot stopping. And out comes Proctor now to lift it over the onrushing Sunderland player, and the flag is raised. 6.5 gone, second half at Bodymore in Premier League 2. Villa's under 21s up against Sunderland here on this Friday night, and it remains scoreless. Still got Pavey, Mosquera, Kedda to choose from. Those replacements. Will Kocher make an impact? Seen him score here some vital goals, not least the hat-trick against Bristol City in the Youth Cup. Here come Villa with Hemmings striding with purpose. Jimo Eloba's to his left, he plays it forward and the shot into the corner, and that's the opening goal. And Mason Kocher, fresh off the bench, was never going to miss. What an impact from Kocher. Has scored vital goals in the Youth Cup and the UEFA Youth League this season, and he's in on the axe in Premier League 2. It's a deserved lead for Aston Villa. Hemmings running with the ball, timed the pass, perfect run from Kocher, and an exemplary, typical finish. They found the cutting edge from the super scoring sub. Villa have their tails up and their noses in front. It's Kocher, the deadlock breaker once again. What a wonderful season he's had. That against his old club, of course. He joined from Sunderland, and the law of the ex-player applies there as he comes on for Rory Wilson and finds at the back of the net. It was going to take something very good to beat Kelechi Chibueze, who's a brilliant keeper, but he had no answer to that. Hemmings with the assist, Kocher the sub with the finish. Villa 1, Sunderland 0. And just what you like to see. Sunderland have had their chances, but that was just a really good bit of play, because he had a few other options there, did Hemmings, but he just waited. He sensed Kocher making the run. He got the weight and the angle of the pass absolutely right, and Kocher just guided the ball into the net. So sweet 16 as Villa's number 16 comes up trumps with a deft, adroit, unerring and accurate piece of finishing. Just helped it, kissed it into the net. Here they come again. Villa buzzing now. They got the tails up. They want another goal. They might just get it here with Taylor playing it for Jimo Aloba. But he just strayed. Just perhaps took a little bit too long for the pass. But Villa looking good here tonight as darkness starts to fall over the pitch here at Bodymore Heath, the venue for this youth clash. Villa have struggled for results in Premier League 2 this season, but well, maybe we're going to get some symmetry. They started with a couple of early wins at Bodymore in the early part of the campaign. Maybe they could get one tonight, and then Liverpool to come here next week. I'll have that one for you as well on Villa TV on Good Friday night. And this is turning into a pretty good Friday night as well. And Villa strained, huffed and puffed. Did absolutely everything other than score in the first half. In the second, they found the golden touch through Mason Kocher in forced sub. Wilson getting a bit on a knock, but Kocher in the right place to guide the ball home after a really purposeful burst by George Hemmings. Here now is Borland. They'll go for a second goal, that's for certain. Borland couldn't quite knock it for Tristan Rowe. Sunderland chased the game. I think it'll open up even more. We had a very enjoyable first half. I think we're going to get a really entertaining second as well here. Good advert for youth football. Both of these sets of young players flying the flag for their clubs with pride and passion. Good ambassadors for two great traditional clubs. Past the 10-minute mark of the second half. It's with Holcroft, the Sunderland number 2. They're about to bring on a couple of subs. Felix Scott, who teenager, came into the fold, actually got a couple of goals against Spurs. Really impressive debut. So Felix Scott is going to come on, see if he can do the same to Villa. We'll be determined not to let him do so. And Cuba Mitchell is also poised, ready and raring to go. So a double change about to be made by Sunderland in response to Villa's opening goal, scored by substitute Mason Kocher. Chip by Amundsen Day. Now Borland for Hemmings, back into his own half. Beautiful purple sky. Thought we'd get a nice sunset tonight. Very picturesque Bodymore at the moment, and Villa's football has been pleasing on the eye for certain. As we reach 57 minutes, Sunderland hoping to build something through the centre, but Proctor, well, he'll be very keen to keep a clean sheet, having laid the foundations with that wonderful bit of shot stopping to keep out Trey Ogunsuyi's penalty. In the first half, developing a reputation already as a penalty saver, which is no bad thing, Sam Proctor. But he might have something to do here as Taylor gets the head onto it. Holcroft helps it forward. Taylor can play in a number of positions. He looks a good left back though, doesn't he? Often seen Travis Patterson playing on the left side in the last couple of seasons at this level. Taylor we've seen play further forward, but he can slot like Tristan Rowe and one or two others, versatile players, good squad members. Villa are going to make a another change of their own, but here comes the double change. One of the players being withdrawn is Reece Walsh, with Felix Scott on, starring role in the last game. Now he's on, and Cuba Mitchell replacing Jayden Jones, so shuffling the pack, freshening things up, different focus perhaps for Sunderland. Haven't really got going in this second half yet. Throw in by Taylor. Set to be a really exciting final couple of months of this 2024-2025 football season. Villa's youngsters want to play their part. Such a feel-good factor through the club. Throw in by Taylor for goal scorer Kocher, helps it for Borland, who hits it firmly, and here come Villa again with Brannigan and now Tristan Rowe. He's going to take them on here. Rowe, hungry, gets to the byline, plays the cross in but too close to keeper Kelechi Chibueze this time, who collected the ball comfortably. Charlie Pavey it is, he's a real playmaker. He's going to come on, number 12. Just too much on that one for Falcroft. Drifts over the perimeter of the pitch, and that will allow Villa to make the change. So he's going to get half an hour or so, is Charlie Pavey. Be interesting to see who he comes on for, actually. It's Cole Brannigan. So Brannigan's work is done. He contributed well. Good shift at the office for Cole, and he'll be very excited about the FA Youth Cup final to come at Villa Park in the coming weeks against Manchester City. Pavey comes on for him. He'll presumably just sit behind in a bit of a free role behind Kocher, with Jamaldeen Jimmo Aloba and Tristan Rowe on the flanks. That's what it looks to be. Here's Kocher dropping deep, squeezing one for sub Pavey to get his first touch, and he fizzes one out. Expansive ball for Rowe. Good to see Pavey getting involved, trying to impact the game, wanting to make things happen, showing from the ball from the outset. Into the third and final third of this contest. Villa have been very good since the break. Whatever was said by Joseph Gombau and his staff at half-time, they've listened to and they've executed. They've got themselves a goal, and now they're looking for the insurance of a second. Here's the aerial ball for Rowe to race after. Remember, any moments you've missed will bring you the goal, will bring you the other highlights at full time. Well manoeuvred, Pavey, dancing feet. And here's the shot from Borland, saved. Is it going to be played in on the follow-up? Another effort is blocked. Borland looking to come to the party. The central midfielder. Villa have created chances all evening long, really. They've played some excellent football. They've constantly made their presence felt, and that was another effort, but Chibueze and his defence stand firm. You'd think a second goal would probably kill them off. Oh, we're going to have a yellow card here for, is it Tristan Rowe? Lunging in. Might be having some date. But there was a booking administered there by referee Elliot Swallow. It's got Christopher Husband and Alex Gray running the lines, and fourth official is Niall Felton for tonight's fixture. And now it's with Cuba Mitchell. One of the subs has just come on. Good work by Hemmings, and it was his run in that inside left channel that led to the Villa goal, expertly finished by sub Mason Kocher. Such a good finisher is Kocher. Hadn't been on the pitch for long either. Didn't need to be. kept his calm, picked his spot, and the netting rippled with delight for Aston Villa. 63 on the clock. Villa 1, Sunderland 0. More probing from the visitors. Works it well, but it's not behind. Jerry Katsakunya was alert, read the situation, had the presence of mind to get into the right place and put it behind for a corner. But they've sent the likes of Ben Kinden up for this one. Sunderland and Graham Murty's man know there's still plenty left in this game. They should still make the playoffs even if they lose tonight, but they need points to be mathematically guaranteed, so they keep pushing. Villa dealt with that set piece well, and now here they are with a possible breakaway for Pavey. And now Bell, Jimo Eloba, lovely touch there, moves away. Oh, it's fabulous stuff again from Jimo Eloba through the middle. Has he got any support here? He has, in the shape of Pavey onside. That was a great dribble. Just a flash of his brilliance, a glimpse of his capability. Not too many better sights in youth football than Jimo Eloba collecting and running at pace at the opposition. That was awkward for Taylor, who tries to win it back, but here's Cuba Mitchell, who's got involved well since entering the fray. Then he goes down under the challenge of Hemmings, takes the free kick quickly. It's worked by Whittaker into the centre. This is better from Sunderland, looking for the equalising goal and getting it. It's a really good piece of finishing as well. It was knocked in, good attack through the centre, and Sunderland have roared back into this one with a really good finish. Scott, who's come off the bench, and he's knocked it home. And it's 1-1. And it's disappointing for Villa that they didn't lead for long. Sunderland with a good reaction. They made the changes and they've come off for Sunderland. Scott and Mitchell both prominent since getting the nod from Graham Murty. They have been good team this season and last. We mentioned they got all the way to the playoff final, scored a hatful of goals, were involved in some real thrilling ding-dong affairs, roller coaster ride, just pipped by Spurs right at the end, but had another good season this year, and they've levelled things up. Proctor has been excellent, but powerless to prevent that low driven finish. And they've lost it again. Might be another one here for Sunderland in quick succession. No, it's against the upright, within a whisker of taking the lead, but the woodwork comes to Villa's rescue. That could be a big moment in this game. Villa lost the ball, out came Proctor, made himself large to his credit. I think that was a contributing factor to the ball not going inside the post. It hit the base of the upright, but it was heart in the mouth time, and Sunderland looking to turn this game in their favour. Villa just a little bit of sloppiness. Amundsen Day lost the ball, and forward went Ben Middlemass, the captain, but they couldn't find the net. And Yema Mosquera is coming on. It'll be a good chance to see what he's capable of producing. He's gone out, got some experience, and now maybe he can play his part in getting Villa a victory here. So it'll be Alcott to take this left wing free kick, but they might make the change midway through this second half. So he's got quarter of the contest to show his quality here as Mosquera, as he comes on for Amundsen Day, who was well, guilty of losing the ball, but thankfully that lapse didn't lead to a goal as they hit the post. So Sunderland will feel they merit at least a level scoreline, given the fact they had the penalty earlier that was saved. They have scored, but they've also hit the framed in the goal as well. It's all happening here at Bodymore. Alcock. Oh, it's a lovely ball in. What a delivery that is from Alcock. And it's into the net. Thierry Katsakunya, forward from the back, judged the flight to perfection. But it was all about the delivery from Captain Fantastic Todd Alcock. He just wafted it in. It was tempting, it was teasing, it was tantalising. And Katsakunya, a colossal performer at the back. He's so steady in the rear guard, but he went up into the opposing penalty area. It glided towards him and he steered his header emphatically past Kelechi Chibueze, and Villa are back in the lead. Well, no cutting edge in the first half, but it's raining goals in the second. Villa went ahead through Kocha the sub. Sunderland level things up, but now it's Thierry Katsakunya, the defender, with a really good finish from a sumptuous, sublime delivery from Todd Alcock. Villa 2, Sunderland 1. And always good to see a set-piece goal. Particularly pleased, I think, were Joseph Gombau and his staff. Perhaps it's one they'd worked on here at Bodymore earlier in the week in the build-up to this game, because it was just asking to be converted. That delightful ball, just caressed it in, didn't he? Got the curl, the bend, the flight, spot on did Alcock. And Katsakunya said, thank you very much, I'm going to get my head on this and steer it past Kelechi Chibueze. Approaching the 70-minute mark. Sunderland have had good moments. Hemmings is down here for Villa on the turf, and Sunderland carry on. Over goes Alcock. He's going to have to do some defending here, and Sunderland have got a second goal. Well, this is a remarkable second half of football. Sunderland have hit back for a second time. It's a very good attack, sweeping forward at the feet of Totierov with the ball in. And what about that for a flick by Finn Geragusin? He got the finish. The ball in from Totierov, and Finn Geragusin with a very adept, adroit little touch, and it's 2-2. Well, it's been very, I suppose, enjoyable for the neutral, but Villa will be really disappointed to have conceded the 2 goals, that's for certain. May have been Middlemass who got the touch, but certainly Felix Scott with the first goal. Scott, after his brace on Monday, 16-year-old levelling the scores, and it was indeed Middlemass with the touch, the captain. So just when Villa's captain Alcock had got an assist for the second goal for the home side, Sunderland skipper came to the party with the goal. Here come Villa now. Well, end to end, it's like a game of basketball this now. Tristan Rowe is denied again by Chibueze, who made a great save with his foot to foil Rowe in the first half. In the second, he uses his gloves, but another chance. Well, it's 2-2. It could have been anything, this game. But if you joined us late, Proctor with a save for a penalty in the first half from Trey Ogunsuyi. Both teams had chances in the second half. Villa have scored twice through Kocha the sub and Katsakunya, but Sunderland have hit back twice through 16-year-old sensation Felix Scott, another sub, and also their captain Ben Middlemass moments ago. Here's the cross in from the left into the danger zone. It's been helter-skelter.
No, not really.
Riveting, captivating at times, pulsating fair, it really has. Right on the edge of our seats, and think we were bemused that it was a 0-0 scoreline, given the attacking nature of the first half. The second half is similar. The difference is that there've been the finishes. Both teams have scored twice. But Villa have led twice. It's another yellow card. Not sure if it's Hemmings who might have got that one. Certainly expect more goal-mouth action to come in the remainder of this one. Alcock allows that one to roll into touch. Who's going to have the next clear opportunity, I wonder? Well, still ample time for both. Point might be enough for Sunderland in terms of where they need to be. Would almost guarantee a playoff spot. They want to get in the top 12 if they can, so qualify for next season's Premier League International Cup. Villa can't get into the playoffs, but they've done so well in all the other different competitions, and of course players going out on loan, so you can't read too much into the table, especially when you consider Spurs, who won it last year, finished top and won the playoffs, beating Sunderland in the final. They're not even going to get in the playoffs in their defence, so it changes so much year on year. There are so many mitigating factors, senior call-ups, injuries. Of course, some teams who play at senior level not in the Premier League, that they're more likely to need these young players. So there's so many factors. Here comes Sunderland now. They've attacked well since conceding the goals, haven't they? It's almost stung them into life into the final quarter of an hour. In goes Katsukunya with some good defending. Mosquera, great to see him out there. Jimo Aloba just hobbling a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. Don't want to see him getting a knock. He might still have a role to play for this level, and of course in the Youth Cup in the Under-18 League, and for the seniors, but might just be a bit of cramp for Jamaldine. Sunderland readying maybe another player. They've already brought on Totierov, Scott and Mitchell. Scott, who's come on and scored, continuing his form. And we're going to have a fair amount of stoppage time at the end of this half when you consider the injuries and also the goals and the substitutes. So pause in play. Archie Lightfoot is going to be coming on. Wonder whether we'll see Omar Khadr as well. The other outfield Villa players have come on. Charlie Pavey, Yoma Mosquera and Mason Kocher, the latter to scoring effects. Throw in from Kane Taylor. Go on Villa is the cry. Good to see so many fans come to the game tonight, actually. Just wanting a little glimpse of the future, and also good chance to watch some quality football at the end of what's been a lovely day of weather. Villa playing all their home games in Premier League 2 here at Bodymoor. Of course, they had the chance to play at Villa Park in the Virtue Trophy against Bradford, and the Youth Cup matches at Villa Park as well, the under-18s, UEFA Youth League under-19s against Barcelona. Villa would love to be in that next season. Obviously it's dependent on whether you qualify for the Champions League, but they're in good shape to have a challenge at the back end of the season to do just that. Here now is Katsukunya, the scorer of Villa's second goal. It was a cracky set piece as well on dead ball duty. Alcott wafted over for Katsukunya to score, but Sunderland have since hit back for a second time. Their goal scorers, sub Scott, and skipper Middlemass. Villa's goal getters Kocher and Katsukunya. With 12 minutes to go plus stoppage time, darkness has more or less descended. Now it's with Middlemass, away by his opposing number 4, Katsukunya. Helped forward by Borland for Pavey. Tristan Rowe might be away here. He's got bags of pace and energy. Rowe gets into the penalty area. Checks back now. What's he got up his sleeve? Floats over the cross. Oh! Jimo Aloba, that would have been a lovely goal. Jimo Aloba's in some trouble there. He stayed down in the penalty area. But Tristan Rowe, he's like that Duracell battery, isn't he? That Duracell bunny, rather. He just keeps going. His engine, his appetite and his quality is pretty. He's great. England youth player. He's got a bright future. He did so well there because he checked, had the presence of mind just to float a delicious ball over for Jimo Aloba, who hit it on the volley. But Kelechi Chibueze has been in sparkling form, the goalkeeper, and he's had to be, otherwise Villa would have won this game comfortably. But Jimo Aloba, who did seem to have a bit of cramp, which Hemmings helped him with, but now he's needed proper medical assistance here because he has been hobbling. So not sure he's going to be able to continue here.
Come on, big lift, Benny. Come on.
Graham Murty giving the thumbs up to Kelechi Chibueze, or Kel as he was calling him, for the quality of his performance in this game. We are back underway as he makes his way round the edge of the pitch. And is he going to be able to carry on? This just isn't going to fizzle out into a draw. I'm certain of that. And he wants to come back, so I don't think it's anything too bad. Good to see that desire, that youthful exuberance. Here now come Villa with Pavey. He's capable of winning this game. Will he go for the shot? He'll angle one over. Well, if you're looking for a player of the match, then Tristan Rowe wouldn't be far away from that conversation, would he? He's done everything, but I mean, he's had 2 great efforts saved by the keeper. And that little run, well, big run, and floated ball over for the volley by Jimo Aloba was possibly my favourite moment of the game. Hope you're enjoying this one on Villa TV. Here now is Scott. He's done well since coming on, hasn't he? He's one to look out for. He's only 16, Scott. Scored 2 against Spurs in the last game. Came off the bench to score in this one. Here comes Sunderland. They want a 3rd goal now. Oh, what an effort as it flashes wide of the post, and it wasn't far away. Just didn't get the bend he wanted as it zooms wide of the target. But wow, it's a good bit of play that, isn't it, by Timur Totierov. He had Whittaker running to his left, but he moved in field with the number 12 Totierov, and he's trying to wrap his foot round the ball, wasn't he? He couldn't hook it as he wanted, and it flashed well wide in the end. The number 3 Jensen Jones with the ball. We've had quite a few stoppages. I think the players are tiring a little bit. You understand that it's been a long, hard season, but they've put on a real spectacle for us on Villa TV tonight. Good to have some Friday night footy to show you. And it's really come to life in the goal scoring stakes in the second half with 2 for each team. Villa have led twice. Really good run by Hemmings to supply a pass for Kocher, who'd just come on to guide it into the corner. The other goal Alcock's sweet free kick for Cunha's powerful header. But they have conceded twice, and Proctor made a penalty save in the first half, and Sunderland have hit the post, and Totieros just hit one wide. So overall, I mean, really, it could be any. It could be about 5-4. I'd say if you were looking for a reflection of the amount of entertainment and chances we've had, you say maybe 5-4 to Villa would be about accurate. Because both keepers, well, particularly Chibueze actually. Proctor made the saves in the first half, but Chibueze has made important saves in both halves. Here now comes, well, Geragusin involved in the build-up here. Got to be careful there as Borland lunging in. He's made the foul, a yellow card. And now we've got a free kick. Who's going to be over this one? I think Middlemass wants it. Whittaker's offering his services. It's a yellow card for Borland, who's making them take it from the right place. So is it going to be Whittaker or Middlemass? Not sure. I just wonder whether the captain might pull rank here. He's already scored once. It's a good position for a free kick, isn't it, this? Just left of centre. And that little chat. Oh, actually, Cuba Mitchell is saying, I'm having some of this. The number 15. So just, well, there's 3 contenders here, but the way he's placed the ball here, Cuba Mitchell's going to hit this. The substitute. He does. Oh, what a save by Proctor. And it's wide. Oh, that's brilliant from the goalkeeper, Sam Proctor. The initial shot was played. It came out from point blank range. Somehow Proctor has kept them out. First ever hit the wall. It popped up, nearly bundled in. That was heroic goalkeeping and defending, to be fair. Putting their bodies on the line, the villains, to make sure they didn't go behind that, because that could easily have gone wrong for them. Proctor has shown his full repertoire, agility, strength, authority. He's got the lot, this fella, and he's got spirited, determined defenders in front of him. 2-2. Sunderland haven't led in the game, but they've shown bounce back ability, and they've swept forward majestically at times. Villa clear their lines well. Tristan Rose, the player you want on the ball when you're embarking on a counter-attack, that's for certain. Here's a raking one. Kocher might be in, but good defending. Nearly dropped into the path of Kocher. He's going to win this one. You got the feeling there's going to be at least one more goal. It's been you attack, we attack, end to end. Gripping drama. Played in good spirits. Honest game of football. Good goals, excellent saves. It's been kept flowing. And both teams will feel, well, they look at the 2 goals they've scored and they think, well, we could have doubled that easily. And in and amongst that, you know, in a game like this with so many chances and a lot of goals in the second half, you have to say the 2 keepers would be in line for the man of the match awards. Here now come Villa with Kocher and Taylor, but they've lost out. He's done well. Cuba Mitchell wins the free kick, but taken from the wrong place. Just over 3 minutes to go, but we could have at least 8 minutes playing time here, given the nature of this second half. It has been fairly free-flowing, the football. Out comes Proctor, and again, there he is, the sweeper. He's made good saves, his distribution's good, but that was very important. Spotting the issue and dealing with it, away by Mosquera. And good to see Jimo Aloba still out there, having received the treatment, and here he is with the pass now, and Tristan Rowe might be in. Good defending, it took 2 of them. He's definitely passed his audition, Rowe, if he wants to be considered for a role further forward in the team. Proctor for Mosquera, controlled it well in a tight spot and fed it forward, propelling over halfway. Remember, we'll bring you all the goals at the end of this one. The moments that mattered from the game. Two number 14s there. Mosquera getting the better of Scott, one of the scorers for Sunderland. Kocher, clever layoff now for Borland, striding forward. Borland now with Rowe to his right. Borland goes the other way. Jamaldine Jimmo Aloba for Aston Villa. Can he get the shot away? He can, but saved well again by Chibueze, who's made half a dozen top quality saves in this game. Overcomes the cross for Rowe. The quick feet of Jimmo Aloba were just looking to open them up there. Is that a foul? Yes, it is. Free kick Villa, and Alcott will be relishing this. He'll be licking his lips given what he produced from much wider for the goal for Katsukunya. Could this be the moment for Villa to win the game in what will be the final minute of the 90 by the time Alcott takes it? Here he goes then. Two-player wall. Katsukunya forward from the back as he was effectively for the Villa second. Alcott once again with responsibility, hits it more pacily this time. Good defended by Sunderland. Danger hasn't gone though. Tristan Rowe competes for it. Now it's Kane Taylor, lovely control. Villa going for the win here. Taylor with the shot through a ruck of bodies, but Sunderland now on the breakaway, and this could be an issue for Villa. They have got covering defenders though. They were ready for the rapid counter. Sunderland still on it. And fabulous defensive work there by Borland in the right place to intercept. Crucial intervention. Fourth official Niall Felton is ready to show the board. It's 5 minutes, so plenty of time for either team to find the winner. They'll go all out for it. It's been a rip-roaring encounter, really has. Rumbustious, some cohesive football played by both sides. Here's the clip from the corner to the back post. Out comes Proctor, gets a punch on it. Good distance generated. Jamaldine Jimmo Aloba hoping to get it on the counter. Sunderland fancy this though. Ball to the byline, cut back, and there they are again, those Villa defenders. Katsukunya got a goal at the other end. There he gets through some defensive work. Rowe tries to get a boot in for Villa. In comes the cross, flicked on. Proctor gathers, always looking to release it. Boots it high towards halfway, and Jimmo Aloba, Sunderland away. Now it's with Borland, really good header. Tristan Rowe off and running again for Villa, as he has been all evening. Borland on the overlap, gets the crossover away by Sunderland. You do get the feeling there is going to be a winner here, but it's tough to guess which team's going to get it. Over goes Alcott, can't lunge in here. Times the challenge brilliantly. Great captaincy there from Alcott, and then he's checked. Cynical foul. Still just over 3.5 minutes left of stoppage time. You haven't been able to catch your breath really in the second half. In the opening period, Sam Proctor about to take this free kick, made a brilliant penalty save from Trey Ogunsuyi, rather like he did in the Youth Cup at Villa Park. But Kelechi Chibueze has made saves throughout the game. Villa have had a flurry of opportunities, as well as scoring the 2 goals in the second half. Hemming supplying sub, Mason Kocher with the first, Alcott swinging over a free kick for Terry Katsukunya with the second. But 2 equalisers from Sunderland. There's Kocher against his old club. Cross comes in first time, it's a good one, and the header from Taylor. Ready, willing and able. That was the chance for Villa to win the game. They couldn't take it. Middlemas, the captain, scoring the second equaliser. Felix Scott, the young sub, with the first. They've also hit the post. Both keepers have been superb. We've seen 4 goals, we could easily have seen double figures. Looks like the spoils are going to be shared. Are we going to end on as even? Or is there a late sting in the tail in the dying embers here? Kane Taylor wins the ball. Charlie Pavey now. Kocher's to his left. Mason Kocher now. Could this be the moment for Villa? Kocher! Well, he was just ran out of room. He didn't get rid of the ball quick enough. Good defended by Sunderland. Still 2 minutes to go here, and they're on the charge now. They've got players forward. Borland's going back. Alcock's there as well for Villa, but they can't get the foot on the ball for the time being. Here comes the shot, takes a deflection wide for a corner, and Sunderland ending this game on the front foot. Point will be useful for them. Villa would have liked to get back to winning ways. They'll have another bite at it next week, next Friday. Make sure you join us. If it's anything like this, you make sure you tune in on Villa TV Plus. Liverpool are the opponents here next Friday night. Well, they're not rushing to take this, Sunderland, which suggests they might be happy with a point. But I think in terms of where they are, looking to shore up their place in the playoff places, given the fact they've gone behind twice, and Villa have played some some of the best football we've seen actually at under 21 level this season in this game. I think Sunderland would be fairly happy with a point, probably happier than Villa would be, given they've clawed their way back on 2 occasions. Final minute of the 5 stoppage time. They're taking an absolute age to take this corner kick of the visiting outfit, hoping to make the long journey home on the back of a good result. Struck low, and then first time over the bar from Cuba Mitchell. That was definitely one from the training pitch for Sunderland. Play their home games at Appleton, the odd one at their main stadium. But it looks like we're going to finish 2-2. Remember to stay tuned for the key moments at the end of the broadcast. Thanks to everyone involved with the production, doing a sterling job, filming and pulling the strings back at base. And to you for watching, of course, and everyone behind the scenes putting on these games here at Bodymoor. Final seconds of the game. There is the final whistle. It finishes 2-2. A thrilling game of football, a great advert for Premier League 2. Villa raced into the lead twice through Mason Koch the sub and Thierry Katzacunha forward from the back from Alcock's delightful ball. But they were pegged back twice by Felix Scott and Ben Middlemass, the Sunderland captain. Chances at both ends, a gripping encounter, could have gone either way, could easily have had more goals. 2